How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Realit, and welcome back to another video. Today, guys, I thought we could count down another top 5 Pokemon that we want to see as Alola forms in the upcoming Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now, today's video is going to be counting down only Pokemon from Generation 2. Now, why are we doing this? Well, because I'm expecting, if they're going to be doing a lot of new Alola forms, they would be from Gen 2, because they're releasing the Gen 2 Virtual Consoles this year. So that's why I thought this could probably be the most likely thing to happen. And what would be some Pokemon that we would like to see from Gen 2 getting an actual Alola form? Now, these are my own opinion and the things I want to see myself, so please understand that before you watch this video. These are based purely on my own opinion. And also, there's going to be some artwork showcased in this video. You can go back and check out all the artwork through the links in the description down below. Huge credits to all the people who have created some of this art. Now let's get right into this countdown, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5. Now, coming in at the 5th place is going to be Miltank. Now, the reason I want to see Miltank is because, for anybody out there who doesn't remember back in Goldenrod City and whatnot, when he had to take on Whitney, you would understand what I mean by saying I want to see a Miltank Alola form, because Miltank was so strong back then. I remember I struggled so much against Whitney's Miltank. It was one of the hardest things ever to take on, and so hard to defeat at that stage of the game. And I remember it was actually the most fun thing ever, because you had to grind, you really had to put a lot of effort into it before you took her on, and I just remember it was so much fun taking her on and defeating her, and eventually making her cry for some reason, because whatever, let's not question that part. Either way, Miltank is a Pokemon that I feel like could deserve, like, really to get another typing. Now, what could this typing change be? Well, I mean, we could switch it from the normal typing to something else, but we could also just add a typing on top of that normal typing and see what happens. Anything between, you know, something like, I don't know, water typing could work on there, really would be weird, but whatever could really work there would be awesome. Just something extra to the Pokemon. It's kind of bringing back from the depths. I know people still tend to use Miltank here and there, but I don't really personally just think much about it nowadays when I just play Pokemon in general. It's one of those Pokemon I feel like I just kind of forget about, and I would love to see, you know, kind of brought back and given some extra attention, as it does deserve it. Either way, let's go to the next one on the list, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4. Now, coming in next is going to be Magcargo. Now, see, this Pokemon is one that I actually, when I was younger, always thought was from Gen 3, but I discovered later on it is from Gen 2. Now, this is a Pokemon that I also feel like is, generally speaking, kind of just left behind. I would love to see if something like a new typing for it would be possible, and if we were to give it a new typing, an ice typing would probably be the best, and I actually think it could work. Now, of course, normal Magcargo is fire type. It is just a, you know, just a giant slug that essentially is just made of lava. Imagine that thing actually turning into, instead of having, you know, that one, more of it turning into a water type. What if that happened? Because, you know, there are water slugs and what like that, like, you know, stuff like that, and slugs usually tend to be a bit slimy, so maybe a water typing, or perhaps a poison typing switch would be pretty cool, like a poisonous slug. I think that could actually work. I don't know, what do you guys think? Does that sound like a good idea? Would actually that, you know, be possible? Would it work? Would it be cool? Would it be, you know, useful to have, is my real question here. So let me know in the comment section down below, lads. Do you think that would be really cool to have, or would it be, you know, not as good as I'm imagining? I personally think Magcargo could be a perfect Pokemon with a probably water typing, because it would fit that theme, or if not a water typing, then maybe, like I mentioned earlier, maybe a poison typing could also work. Either way, that's it for that part. Let's go to the next one on the list, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3. Now, coming up next is going to be Blossom. Now, this is the Pokemon that I think is the most likely Pokemon to actually get an Alola form. Why? Well, because if you guys don't know, there have been some leaks here and there, and now these leaks are not confirmed. There's no 100% that's going to be happening, but if they do end up happening, Blossom is probably going to be the one getting an Alola form. One, it has the theme. It's got that Hawaii thing going on with it, which really does make sense, like a Hawaii dancer and whatnot. If they actually were to give it an Alola form, maybe giving it like a, I don't know, fairy typing, whatever. I don't really know what could work on it, but just giving it some extra like that would actually make sense, and it would fit in that sort of style. So I do think, perhaps, if they were to do it, a Alolan Blossom could work, and probably would work, and does make sense in one way or another. Now, I don't know about your opinions, guys. What could be some good typings for a Alolan Blossom? Because looking at the leaks, it I kind of felt like the best thing they were saying was going to happen to it was just giving it like that, you know, extra typing of fairy typing. So I'm really wondering, would that be a good typing for it? Would it make sense? And would it work? That is the real question that I'm questioning here. Would it actually work? And I do think it would. Just with the style and the way it looks, a fairy typing really isn't that far-fetched. I mean, look at it. It really is just made to be a sort of fairy type, which I think would fit it. But also at the same time, how would it actually look like? There are a lot of custom artworks, and I put some on the screen right here. I'll make sure to credit it. You'll see the credits on the screen, and also check the description down below if you want to see these artworks, you know, straight on the actual site they were created on. Either way, my point is, there are a lot of different, like, cool creations of and styles and ideas for what a fairy type Blossom or a Alolan Blossom could look like, and I think a fairy typing would be perfect, especially with this whole leak thing that's going around. It could make sense. Either way, let's go to the next one on the list, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2. Now, coming up next is going to be Alolan Delibird, and okay, let me explain. So Delibird is the Pokemon that I used to kind of despise when I was younger, but I've kind of started to love it over the course of time, and this is a thing that I just have to see happen. Like, it must happen one day or another. Like, I just expect it to happen sooner or later. Now, the thing with Delibird is, it's kind of a useless Pokemon. It's, like, its move Gift is really, like, just, you know, kind of pointless. It actually just doesn't work too well as a Pokemon in itself. It's kind of one of the worst Pokemon out there when you think about it. It really isn't the most useful of things. But if we were to get a new typing, maybe we can move away from the whole, like, gift-giving part and actually make it into something different. Now, there is this beautiful artwork created here, and I'll make sure to link it down below for which you guys can actually check it out yourself. But it really does look beautiful, and it is this awesome freaking artwork of a water-flying Delibird, which I gotta say, interesting combination of moves there, and instead of carrying its giant sack like your little Santa and whatnot, it actually has a surfboard. And overall, I think this is a great design that could work as an actual thing. Now, the thing is, you know, I'm not thinking this is going to be very, you know, much likely. Delibird is a Pokemon that I don't think, you know, they want to give too much attention to at all, ever again. Just thinking about, you know, just the people over there at Game Freak and, you know, the Pokemon company and whatnot. I do not think they will actually give Delibird any more attention or even care about it. I think this is a forgotten Pokemon that will not be brought, you know, back in ever again. It's kind of just lost in just time and space. It's never going to be brought back with something like an Alola form. Who knows? Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. I'm more on the maybe it won't side, but I really do hope it does get an Alola form. So that's about it for that one, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list. Number 1. Now, coming in at the first place is going to be Alolan Ursaring. Now, Ursaring is one of those Pokemon that I fell in love with back in Gen 2. It is a Pokemon that deserves to be an Alolan Pokemon, or at least get an Alolan form or something like that, or just a Pokemon in general that deserves to get some attention, whether it be a Mega Evolution or whether it be something else. It needs some freaking attention. This thing is a beauty in a whole new level, and it deserves some bloody attention, lads. Now, the thing with Ursaring is, I've never really seen much happen to this Pokemon. It is kind of forgotten over time. It never gets talked about much, but it does deserve an Alola form. It would fit it, it would work with it, and it's a bulky Pokemon that I think just the Pokemon company should give some more attention. Because the thing is, when they make these Alola forms and whatnot, they make sure to do it on Pokemon that they know they can sell merchandise for and that people actually like and want to have. Now, Ursaring is one of those Pokemon I think does actually work like that. They could easily make plushies out of it, and it would work as a plushie. I think it's a cool-ass Pokemon, and it is one of my personal favorite Pokemon, as it is just so badass. It's a giant brown bear, like, look at it, and it's got a giant, you know, yellow circle on its belly, so that, yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Either way, my point is, Ursaring in a new typing could work. Now, the actual, you know, question about what typing, well, I don't know, maybe a psychic typing could work on it. It actually, you know, kind of with a circle and whatnot, maybe if they change that circle to something like a star, or maybe like the sun logo, they could do that, and maybe it could be like a, I don't know, maybe even a fire type, whatever. But I actually do have an artwork here that is actually pretty beautiful, and it makes Ursaring into a fire type, which actually looks pretty darn good, I've got to say. It really does fit. Now, I'm not saying, you know, that's what it should be, you know, a fire type, but it could actually work as a fire type Pokemon. I personally do think, though, psychic typing on Ursaring would probably be the best thing to go with, as it seems to be just the best thing that fits it in just general, simple terms. It's just a normal, you know, normal type Pokemon. It's pretty, you know, pretty okay in strength. It's not the strongest thing in the world. It is, you know, it's decent. It's not horrible. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing either. It's a decent and really, really good Pokemon in general terms. but it would be better if it actually got another typing and just made it even stronger, or just improved it a bit and just gave it some extra attention. So that's what I want to say there, lads. Either way, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, then drop a like down below on this video and show some support. If you guys want to tell me down below in the comment section what some Pokemon you think should get Alola forms are, let me know. I would love to see what you guys can come up with and what Pokemon you want to see as Alola forms. Either way, thank you so much for today's video, lads. I'll catch you all the next time. Peace out, have a great day, and bye-bye.